Coach, where do you stand on getting a handle yourself on your team and everything you have now as taking over as DC?
Yeah, I don't know about the whole team. I'm just trying to get a handle on the guys on defense right now. And every day gets a little bit better. The picture of what we have and what guys can do becomes a little bit clearer. But every day we just keep getting better, and I really enjoy being around the guys. We got a great group of guys. These guys have been well coached. They practice hard. They care. They try to get better every day, and it's a lot of fun.
What are the things that maybe stand out to you in terms of validation of things you expected, and maybe some things that it's like, oh, I didn't realize that, and that's really good too?
Yeah, I would say the validation part is these guys are smart players. They can retain information. You can throw a lot at them, and they can go from the meeting room to a walkthrough to the practice field. And it doesn't take a lot of reps for these guys to get it. So conceptually, again, we've been pretty consistent with what's been done here in the past, so that helps. But I'm just impressed by the amount of volume that these guys can retain and take from the meeting room to the practice field.
How different compared to previous styles has been just in the short time that you've been here so far?
I don't know about different. Every place is different, and every place is its own separate opportunity. But I just have really enjoyed the people here, the staff, the support staff, but mostly the players. This is a great group of guys. And I told them the other day, I feel like I hit the football coaching lottery coming here and being able to be around such an intelligent group, a committed group, and guys that just come out and work hard.
Any players immediately stand out to you that maybe weren't on your radar initially?
I try to refrain from pointing out individuals because I'm afraid I leave somebody out. I just think overall, this group from top to bottom, I'm not looking at experience or who started, who hasn't. I'm just looking at individuals, and I see a lot of growth from every individual. I see players at all three levels that can make plays, that can do some things that I'm really excited about. I think I would talk about our interior D-line is probably better than I had initially thought. There's more depth there. The two transfers have really fit in nice and done a great job. Onye is a guy that wasn't here, last year for personal reasons. He's back in the mix, and he's doing a great job. So that group probably, as a position group, has probably stood out more so than anything.
How important is it to have that position group standing out when that was maybe a question mark?
It's everything. Everything starts up front, especially inside. If you're going to be able to control the line of scrimmage, you got to have those big guys inside. I think we have them.
What can I help you with?
Eli just mentioned that he even said it kind of unprompted that it was nice to have the same offensive system for the first time in 2 consecutive years. What advantages does that give your guys now that they've got the first year under their belt with you?
Yeah, I mean it's so year one you're hoping to establish kind of an identity, a base of what you do, how you do it, you can teach scheme. And you try to dig into details as much as you possibly can, but quite frankly, you got to play games and win games as well. So it's kind of a balancing act in year one. Year two kind of gives you a chance to kind of take a deep breath, assess the things you really liked about what you did, the things that you need to change and adapt to. And year two gives you an opportunity to really kind of slow down, really dig into the details. And that's, it's all over the cut-ups and the tape from last year's offensive unit that if we're a little better at the details, especially in situational football, we're going to be hard to stop. And a lot of times we were the ones stopping ourselves. And getting that stuff cleaned up and getting everybody on the same page in year two is a huge piece of the puzzle.
And then how tricky has it been balancing 3 different quarterbacks in and out of reps and having different days? Yeah, I mean, we've done a good job, I think, of kind of altering our practice schedule a little bit to make sure those guys are getting what they need from a rep standpoint. So it's not as bad of a balancing act as you might think when you kind of adjust team periods and different things to make sure everybody's kind of on an equal footing. That way we can get a true evaluation of where these guys are going.
How hard of a decision will this be with the 3 guys that you have?
At this point, I would tell you it's going to be incredibly difficult because all 3 of the guys are playing very consistently. They're making good decisions with the ball. They've got a good understanding of our offense, which is obviously a benefit, again, from what we just discussed as far as being and going into year 2 and having a full year under their belt. So it's going to come down to probably some very specific things in the end, and we'll evaluate those things as we go. But all 3 guys to this point in spring have done a really, really nice job.
We're going to talk to Justin Fisher here in a little bit. Obviously, as a local guy, what does he bring bring to you guys in that tight end room and moving him back to tight end?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a kind of a man without a country, right? He's a Swiss Army knife, if you will, for our football team, which is awesome. He's an incredible competitor, very smart, picks things up really fast, which allows us some versatility on, where we need some extra help. And he's been able to kind of transition back and forth between the running back room and the tight end room. And he just does an incredible job of understanding the game of football and then brings a nice intensity to it as well. So it's a pleasure having him in the tight end room.
If you have a new counterpart in Chris Ash, what's it like been working with him throughout the spring?
Yeah, it's been great. Chris has hit the ground running. And, I don't see much let up in what we're doing defensively or how we're doing it. They're as difficult to go against as they were day one when I walked in the door. So it's been a smooth transition. Chris is great to work with and does an incredible job of getting those guys in the right places.
So how excited are you for year 11 to get started?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. But honestly, I couldn't be more excited. I feel very blessed to be here. When the opportunity came up, I know I still wanted to play. I know I still had a lot left in me, and there was no chance I'm turning down an opportunity to play here. So I'm very excited. Feel very blessed, and just it's been awesome to get to work and work with these guys, work with this team. So it's been great so far.
Can you put in perspective your desire to be able to be out there healthy and playing after everything you've been through?
It's hard to put into perspective, honestly. I have a hard time kind of expressing that, but I would really give anything to take the field at this university with this team. Again, it's hard to kind of express that, like I said, but when you talk about just the love and the passion that I have for this place and the people here, the things that I have given and will continue to give, and the things that this place has given me, it's innumerable. So it is hard to kind of express that, how badly I want this and how much I am putting into it. But like I said, I just love this place. There's nowhere else I'd rather do it.
How did you
to build on going into a new season now?
Yeah, I think so. Last year, obviously, I thought I felt good, and then, kind of as I went through that season, it was my first time healthy playing in 2 years, and, obviously I have high expectations for myself, so I'm wanting to be out there, wanting to play, wanting to contribute. I think the reality of it was I needed that time to kind of get my feet back, kind of get a new feel for the game. It had been, 2 full calendar years since I've put on pads and a helmet, so I think that was important for me to have that time, have a full year. Like, hey, I could stay healthy for a full year. Hey, I could feel I could still do this. Hey, I can get my feet back under me and I could still play this game at an extremely high level. So I think I needed that as much as maybe I didn't want it, right? But it was important. I am grateful for it, and it brought me to this moment. So I'm very thankful for that.
We can hear why you're still here now. But in those 2 years, you had to question things at times.
Yeah.
How close were you to saying, that's it, I'm done?
Yeah. Quite a few times. I've, had to have some tough conversations with myself, with God, with my family. And there were multiple times where I was, a few seconds away from walking into coach's office and calling it a day. But at the end of the day, something kept calling me back, right? I kept getting signs, and I give that all up to God. I think He's got a plan for me, and the big part was getting to a point where, I'm going to give this my all, and I'm going to give it everything I have, and kind of whatever the end result of that is, I'm good with. I could live in peace for the rest of my life knowing I gave it my all, regardless of what God's plan is for me. So, yeah, I was definitely close a couple of times to, maybe never lacing them up again, whether it be here or just in general. But like I said, I'm very grateful to be here, and a big thanks to my family and and the people who have got me to this point, you know.
Eli, how's the spring been going for you so far?
It's been going really well. Feeling healthy, getting really familiar with the playbook. I'm just playing a lot faster with a more clear mind, and it's nice to finally have been under a offense for more than 1 year. So I'd say it's going really well.
What kind of advantage does that give you in particular, even though you have a different quarterback now?
Yeah, I mean, just being familiar with what's going on. You can think about, not just your route, but you can think about reading coverages and other stuff like that. But we have really good QBs, so I can't really tell much of a difference at all. CJ, Steve, Kenny, Blake, they're all doing a great job, and I'm really excited to see where this goes.
You guys obviously right now don't have a lot of numbers at tight end in the spring. Does that help in a way because you're getting more reps, or is it, hey, we could use a couple more guys at the moment?
Yeah, I would say we definitely, it'd be nice to have more guys. Obviously, it means more reps for all of us, which is never a bad thing. But, we're definitely low on numbers right now. So we're all just trying to stay healthy and get better. So.
What's your progression now? Obviously, fully removed from all your injuries, getting into going full years without being away from that. How does that help now as you continue to progress in your game?
Yeah, I can finally play with a clear mind. It's not foggy in the back of my mind. I'm playing a lot faster, a lot more confident, and it makes the world's difference right now, and I feel great. So.
And then you mentioned the quarterbacks. When you look at the three of those, just kind of just what they bring as a collective unit in terms of what Notre Dame's going to get here, no matter who is chosen.
Yeah, they're going to give it their all. They're all super competitive guys, super smart, and they are willing to do whatever it takes to get the job. And whoever gets it, I feel really confident for where our offense is going to be going. So.
Speaking of last season, what did you just kind of learn overall from last year?
Yeah, I would say that a 16-game season taught me really how to maintain my body, maintain a good schedule. So I would say it was definitely a big step from the other seasons. It's a longer season, and it's a lot to learn from.
So how is everything going? Obviously transitioning back to tight end. What's that experience been like here so far in spring ball?
It's been really cool to, go back to a room in which I spent my first 2 years in and spend some time with some guys that I spent a ton of time with my first 2 years. It's been really cool to add to my toolkit and get back and do some tight end things and just help add value.
Do you expect to stay in that room, or could you still be swinging back and forth?
To be honest with you, I just want to be able to help the team in any way I can. So if that meant they need me to go back to running back and, add value there, I'm completely open to doing that. Or if that means, hey, I'm going to be a tight end until I'm done, that's also something I'm very open to.
Coach Denbrock just called you a Swiss Army knife. How much pride do you take in being able to fill gaps on this team to help out in different ways?
I just think it's something that helps add value to the team. And at the end of the day, I want Notre Dame football to be great. And if that means one day I got to play tight end, the next I got to play running back, and I got to help filling gaps, that's all I want to do, to be able to help Notre Dame football.
What has this experience overall been for you? You could have had other opportunities to go elsewhere. You decided to stay at home. What has this experience overall been for you?
It's just been really special. Myself, my family, everybody growing up Notre Dame fans, all my friends from high school are huge Notre Dame fans, and they come out and support me, at walks, at games, all the time. So it's just been really special to play for a team that I grew up rooting for, and that was such a big part of my childhood and, my family's, my brother's childhoods. And
then finally for me, just obviously having the opportunities on special teams, what has that experience been like?
It's been really cool. Like I've touched on in other questions, all I try to do is come out here and try to reach my full potential, try to add value in any way I can. For me, a big part of that is special teams, and, that's some place where I hope to help the team whenever I can.
How has Denbrock really helped you add value to this team?
Coach Denbrock's extremely knowledgeable, and he's a straight shooter. So if he doesn't like something that you did maybe on a route or something you were doing in the blocking game, he's going to tell you. And that transparency is awesome because it helps you get your mistakes fixed, and it's made me a better player.
Jack, how's everything going for you so far?
Yeah, it's going good. Spring ball is going good. Just adjusting, coming out here. I feel more comfortable. and just having fun.
There aren't many numbers in your room right now in spring ball. How much does that help you to get able to get that many more reps?
Yeah, a lot of reps. Come out here and show what you can do, and having fun so far. Just a good time to show what you can do and get better and get ready for fall camp.
What are you kind of learning here in the spring that can help you into the summer and then getting into fall camp to give you an opportunity to contribute?
Just cleaning up, little stuff, little details. I feel like now I know what I'm doing in terms of the playbook. It's just cleaning up blocking and little details in the pass game. But just cleaning those up and getting as good as you can before fall camp.